exactly a month me getting the braces on, and to be fair, I've just gotten used to them. Like, I really don't mind having them at all, and I've learned how to brush them. I spend like 20 minutes every day brushing them and stuff. I use Waterpik a lot after every meal, and I guess that's it. But at the moment I'm just walking to a store where I'll be getting some food. I'm still not eating any hard food because though my teeth aren't that sore anymore because my last adjustment was like 3 weeks ago or something, I'm still kind of scared of bending any wires, or I'm scared of breaking any brackets. So what I started doing is I started blending foods and making shakes with fruit and veg and that kind of stuff. So my diet these days consists of various soups and toasts and shakes. So pretty good, I'd say. But yeah, just gonna go to the shop. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I've just moved to this new place, so and it's early morning for me, and I've just queued up for like good 2 minutes to the wrong shop. But to go to the real one, the one I actually needed to go to. Okay, so in today's episode, I'd like to talk about the costs of having metal braces on. Just to recap, the reason why I'm wearing braces at the moment is because I'm preparing my teeth for a double jaw surgery that I will be having at the end of this year, or if something comes up, probably early next year. And at the moment, I'm just wearing these braces, and I had to get them because they can't just well, some people are actually eligible for having a jaw surgery before without them having to wear braces. It depends on what's been done to them before, because in my case specifically, I wore braces when I was young and my teeth are quite straight already, so nothing much needs to be done to me before I can have the double jaw surgery. However, I know that some people who I'm following on Instagram or YouTube, they've had to have braces for 6 or 7 years, and it's not just because their teeth were really, really unaligned, but also because in UK specifically, if you are doing this whole braces and jaw surgery thing on the NHS, the waiting times are super long. For example, for me, I was considering doing this whole thing on NHS this year, but because of COVID, the waiting time even just to see a jaw surgeon was 1 year. So had I chosen to go ahead with doing braces and jaw surgery on NHS in UK this year, I think the whole process would have taken up to 5 years, because that's what usually happens with all the waiting and rescheduling and all that kind of stuff. For that reason specifically, I decided to do everything privately in order to speed the process up and just have it done with by the time I turn 30. Before we begin with the whole thing, I'd like to show you a sneak peek of what I've created. I have this tracker that I use to see how much I've paid so far and how much I need to pay for everything that I had to pay for. So it kind of looks like that, and I will go into all the details in a minute. So first things first, I had to go to an orthodontist for me to have a consultation for her to assess whether I need braces only or braces and jaw surgery, and come up with a treatment plan. So luckily the consultation was free. I know that sometimes this consultation can cost up to £100 depending on the case, depending on location, experience of the doctor and all that kind of stuff, but in my case the consultation was free. The thing is, the actual consultation was free. However, during this consultation I had to do some x-rays, and they had to do 2 x-rays to see what's going on with my teeth, and those x-rays cost me £95. Out of the whole thing, I think this was the lowest cost I've paid so far out of out of everything that I had to pay for. So during this consultation, my orthodontist discovered that I had to do 2 real root canals. Now, root canals is like the worst thing that can happen to you because this is the last stage before a tooth dies. So in my case, unfortunately, I had to redo both because they were just not done correctly, and each of them cost me, actually the cost was different. The first one cost me £1,095, and the second one, it was a little bit of a more complicated case, so they had to charge £100 more for that one. So the overall cost was £1,195. When I was done with root canals, I had to complete a general dentist assessment. That was free. However, I had to pay for some of my teeth to be polished. So that cost me £295. After that, I had to get 2 temporary crowns on the 2 real root canals that I had worked on. And this is really important. The thing with braces, whenever you get braces, they tell you not to get the permanent crowns because apparently braces don't stick really well to the permanent crowns. So you have to get temporary crowns unless you want to go back to your orthodontist on a weekly basis, like once or twice a week every time a bracket falls off. So I got 2 temporary crowns and each cost me £250. Some of you may know that one of those temporary crowns fell off recently because my ortho, long story short, but one of them fell off, so they had to my actual orthodontist had to come up with a different strategy of bonding my teeth and not putting any brackets on those temporary crowns at all so they don't fall off. In fact, she took out another one and they had to re-glue both, but that whole thing was covered in my previous vlog, so if you are interested, have a look through. Okay, so once I had my temporary crowns fitted, they also told me that I had to do a filling, and usually the cost of filling depends on how big the filling is. It can range from £100, I think, to all the way to £350. And in my case, that freaking filling was really huge, so I had to pay the total of £350 for just one filling. And I'm coming back to the last, I promise you this is the final stage that I had to complete before me getting the freaking braces on. So I had to extract an impacted wisdom tooth that grew horizontally in my mouth and was basically pushing all my bottom teeth on a side, which was not great at all, and also it could have affected the molar that was next to it, and it just had to be taken out. So it was taken out surgically, and I have a couple of vlogs that cover that time frame when I was having it extracted and the whole process. But the cost of that was the following. So first and foremost, I had to get an x-ray for them to see how close that tooth was to one of the most important nerves in my mouth. Luckily, it was not close. It was like there was some distance, so it wasn't as dangerous as it could have been. So an x-ray cost me £95. Forgot to tell you, even before the x-ray, I had to have a wisdom tooth extraction consultation, and that consultation cost me £105. After that, when everything was done, the actual tooth extraction was £650. Now, usually a wisdom tooth extraction is £450. However, in my case, I decided to go with the platelet plasma rich therapy. It helped me heal up pretty freaking quickly. It only took me a week and a half to get over the whole surgical extraction process. So my mouth was completely healed after 2 weeks, and this was amazing. Had I not done that, I would have suffered for a month, I think, or even longer, and I would have been in a lot of pain. However, with this thing, I was not in any pain as far as I remember. I wasn't, no. I took ibuprofen for like, I think once, and that was it, really. Okay, so I've done all of that work in just over 2 months, I think, and the total cost of all of that is, let me see, So everything that I've mentioned so far cost me £4,380, which is crazy. Yeah, ridiculous amount. Luckily I have some insurance, but only £800 was covered with my insurance. Everything else was out of pocket, unfortunately. And as for braces, I got them for, as you can see, I have full-on metal braces, so not Invisalign or anything like that. The metal braces that I have cost me £6,500, and this is the usual price for this kind of braces. And the whole thing with the braces cost is that you can pay in installments. So I had to pay 30% upfront, which was £1,950, and the rest of it was spread across 14 months. That comes down to a monthly payment of £325 that will be paid in full next March, I think, February or March. I've also mentioned that I will mention the price of the double jaw surgery quickly. And in London, if you are to do a double jaw surgery privately, cost would range from £20,000 to £25,000, which is a lot. Taking into account everything else I've done and paid for up until today, up until even me getting the braces on. So for that reason specifically, I decided to find a doctor abroad, and I found one that I trust in Spain, and the cost of double jaw surgery and genioplasty that I will need apparently is 13k, so it's half of what I would have paid here in London. So the overall cost of everything that had to be done before me getting braces themselves, and the double jaw surgery with genioplasty is £24,000, which is a lot. I know, it's crazy if you think about it. In fact, I personally went through a stage where I was really excited about the whole thing, and I was making plans on how I am going to pay for all of that, and that will be covered in my next vlog, I think. But the first thing I remember thinking is, wow, it's finally happening, and there's a way of doing it and going through the whole thing and finally getting rid of this thing that I was so insecure about my whole life. And then after that, when I got my braces on, and even probably like a day before me getting the braces on, I started feeling really down about the whole thing. And I think I have it covered in one of the previous vlogs, when I was having second thoughts on the whole thing because of many reasons, but one of them is this cost. And I do understand how much it is, and sometimes I don't even understand why I'm going ahead with the whole thing, you know? And on another note, I'd like to mention the fact that I am trying to make myself feel better about spending all this money on my looks, by thinking that there's people out there that spend money on things that I don't consider as valuable. For example, expensive cars, alcohol, designer clothes, I don't know, all that kind of stuff that is not important to me personally, but it is definitely important to them. That's why they invest in so much in it. I'm trying to make myself feel better about spending all this money into my look. This is something that did affect me throughout my whole life, and I'm almost 30, and it is bugging me, the fact that, you know, it can be sorted, and I haven't done it yet, and I'm thinking if there's a way of doing it, why the hell not, right? So yeah, that's my reasoning here. But I do appreciate how lucky I am to be able to go through the whole thing. And if you guys have any questions at all related to the cost of braces or anything at all, please comment down below, and I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye!